I like to dedicate this to all of the Creator's righteous children. I have some food in my bag for you. Not that edible food, that food you eat. No, I have some food for thought. Since knowledge is infinite, it has infinitely fell on me.
Peace, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. I really don't want to make this video. I really don't want to make this video, but sadly I have to. So unfortunately, there's just been too much craziness going on lately, and I just want to break it down and talk about it from my perspective. So I'm going to talk about one subject which leads to a different subject and is all connected, and it all comes together. So last year I made a video on my channel about Michael Jackson, and if you know me at all, you know I'm a Michael Jackson stan. I am more of a recent Michael Jackson stan after he passed away, but I always, for my whole life, have loved Michael Jackson. Thriller, that album is fire. You know, I'm getting more into Bad, I'm getting more into you know, Off the Wall, and even some of his 90s stuff. But if I have to be really honest, I said some stuff last year about Michael Jackson where I said that he was basically this pure person who just wanted to make music, influence the world, and spread, you know, be a humanitarian, spread love, spread his music. And I didn't believe any of the allegations. And that he just didn't have a childhood, and that he was just mentally, you know, trying to deal with that, and that these, you know, news outlets and the media was trying to get at him because he was so famous. And for the most part, I still honestly agree with what I said. But there have been some things going on lately that have made me kind of think about the way that I said that, and the way that I just was so no holds bar about giving Michael Jackson my support, even though, you know, there are some weird things that, you know, have going on with Michael Jackson that we sort of brush off because he never ever did anything like really bad. So there's this documentary going to be coming out by Sundance apparently, and it's going to basically be rehashing the lawsuits that were against Michael Jackson and the sexual molestation charges that were put upon him, and that he fought and won, and that the accusers were lying. And they're going to be doing another documentary about that. And here's the thing for me. So before this past week, after, you know, the whole thing with Surviving R.Kelly and everything that's come out around that situation, and then everything going on with Cyntoia Brown, who, if you don't know, is a now 30-year-old woman who was convicted of killing her person who was sex trafficking her, killing him when she thought that he was going to kill her because he had a gun, and she was only 16, and they charged her and as a adult for a life sentence. And thankfully she's being pardoned and she's getting clemency on August 7th, which is amazing. I'm so happy for that. But there's just been a lot of conversation right now around sexual abuse, sexual assault, rape, sexual harassment, and sex trafficking, human trafficking, and all of the really seedy underbellies of this country and the world. Now, when it comes to Michael Jackson, it's kind of hard for me. Like I said, I became more of a recent stan of Michael Jackson. So, yeah, it was like after he passed away, I became like this super fan, right? And I've never looked back. And there's this whole community on Instagram that are like passionate Michael Jackson fans, right? And you know, I watch a lot of Michael Jackson videos a lot. I listen to a lot of his music. He's one of my favorite artists. I celebrate him when he's on his birthday and on his death day. Like, I'm a really big fan. I love a majority of his music is amazing. But I'm here to check myself. I said those things last year in my video about him being a wholesome person who wouldn't hurt a fly, and he says a lot of things that made you believe that Michael Jackson was this innocent person who would never hurt anybody, and especially a child. He would never do that. And though we have never ever seen video footage of Michael doing anything seedy when he was alive, unfortunately to most people, they try to brush off the fact that Michael Jackson admittedly said in an interview that he likes to sleep in the same bed with little children. Now, say what you want about that. That's up to you. But that's weird. And a lot of us really seriously, honestly, on a real level, we brushed it off. We were just like, okay, like, it's just Michael Jackson, it's whatever. And I told you, when Michael Jackson passed away, I used to have nightmares of that one interview that he did. He did this interview from jail, how the cops and the police were basically mistreating him and all these things and whatever. And then I would have nightmares afterwards about him in a dark room with little children and his weird nose. And that bothered me for a really long time, and I wanted to just blame it on the media and say that, okay, this was just the media's doing, trying to manipulate my mind to make me think that this man was a monster, when he was just this innocent guy who just wanted to make music and spread joy and love to the world. I just want to throw this out there for all of the Michael Jackson stans, all of the Prince stans, all of the Whitney Houston stans, all of the stans of anybody who basically has passed away at this point in time. Just because your favorite artist or entertainer has passed away doesn't mean that things from their past won't be coming up in the next few years, because we are at this point in society, we're taking things very seriously at this point. And we really are trying as a society to do better and to really take these situations seriously, even if we don't believe them. And I'm starting to learn that too, that this is important. We need to start really believing these accusers. And for a lot of situations, I do. With R.Kelly, I've always believed the accusers over anything that he has ever said, over any of his music. But I just think he's a creep, and he's not cute, and he's ugly, and he's just a weird guy, and he's ill. He's just ill. Like, I don't understand. There are still people out there today, especially black, dark-skinned women, who are still defending his ass. Still defending him. And it's 2019, and all these allegations are coming out. And even after the docuseries, they're still out here defending his ass. But you could say the same thing about us Michael Jackson fans at the same time. We have this connection to his music, and we just have this desire to make it so that he was this innocent guy who never did anything. And we just don't want to believe that any of these things happened. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what kind of connection we have to these artists, what kind of connection we have to these celebrities. We love their movies, we love their music, we love their entertainment, comedians, whatever, athletes, who cares? When it comes to the life and the mind state and the protection of little children, especially little black, brown, indigenous little boys and girls, and then grown women who are out here being raped all the time. If we don't care about those things enough to say enough is enough, we aren't going to take it anymore, and we're not going to be listening to these people's music anymore. We're not going to support them. We're not going to help them get their next paycheck. We're not going to do any of that, because we support children more than we ever do the art. And I know there's a lot of conversations going on right now around separating the art from the artist. And it's hard when it comes to sexual molestation, sexual abuse, sexual harassment. It's really hard, because you're talking about little kids, you're talking about women, you're even talking about men in some instances, and their life doesn't matter to you apparently, because you're saying that you can separate the artist from the art. But for me, it's like, to a point, I can in some instances, you know. Yes, I will admit, I will still watch The Cosby Show to this day if I find clips on YouTube or whatever. But let's be honest, that doesn't mean I don't think that Bill Cosby did it. I honestly, absolutely 100% think he did it. And I'm glad that he's in jail right now. And it's just like, it's hard, I know, because you fell in love with these people because of their art, because of their music, because of their TV shows, because of their movies, because of, you know, the way they play sports or whatever. And I know it's hard for us to really take a look at ourselves in the mirror and say, which one are we going to support more? Young little girls and boys, especially black girls and boys, who are out here being abused by these artists, by these celebrities, by these athletes, by these whoever, but also by these regular old folks who are either in their family or in their church or their coach or whoever, out here doing these fallacious things to these young little kids who aren't even fully developed in their brain, versus supporting an artist whose music you love, whose television show you love, who whatever. We really have to take time to think about how much we're willing to support these people after we find out that things have happened. Now I know with the whole R.Kelly thing, it's a lot easier for us to be like, we can write him off 100%. We've seen the footage, we've seen the videotape, all of these accusers are coming out. Like, it's a big deal. Like, we know that he's awful. So we're not going to support him anymore. Although there are people who do, because they're crazy and delusional. But the people with rational minds are like, no, we're not going to support this person anymore. And we're not going to support people who support him. But when it comes to Michael Jackson, people can't seem to reconcile with the fact that, sadly, I'm not saying he did it, because we saw in the court that he got off, but we just don't know. And I'm not saying that he really did it. I'm honestly not. I'm a Michael Jackson stan. I don't want to believe it. But if it became true, I would drop him like that. Like that. I'm sorry. No artist or celebrity is worth the price of a child's protection, a child's life, a child's well-being. I don't care. If you're out here fondling, having sex, raping these poor children who have no say in the matter, no matter what you people say, and I hate the argument that these girls in the R.Kelly documentary are fast. I don't care. You guys are scum for saying that, and I don't care. You guys are scum. You guys are super scum for saying that. You should never, ever blame a child, because an adult is supposed to be an adult, and I don't care. But it's just like, it's going to be hard for me to really dive deep and be like, he either did it or didn't. And if something really honestly came about this documentary from Michael Jackson, and it really came out that he might have actually done it, I'm dead serious. I would drop him in 2.5 seconds. I'm not about supporting these people, and you guys shouldn't be either. It's not that serious, okay? I know he's a part of your childhood. I know he made music that just warms your heart and soul. You know what I mean? The Jackson 5. You know what I mean? Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad, you know? Like, these are classic albums. Classic albums. And I know it's hard. But if something really honestly came out tomorrow and was like, Michael Jackson was out here fondling little boys, I would be on the first train to goodbye, because I'm not about supporting you. Now, I don't know that he did anything. He was let off, and the evidence was reigned that he did not do anything, and it was 100% true that he did not do anything to those people, but we don't know about others. There could be other people out there who just haven't come forward yet, and maybe this whole R. Kelly thing is going to make a lot more people to come out of the woodworks to say, this person did this to me. And that doesn't just mean celebrity. That means your regular old folks. I don't care who you are. I don't care. I honestly do not care who you are. Celebrity, your pastor, your gym coach, your teacher, anybody. I do not give a iota who they are. If they're out here doing that to little children, they are canceled forever. And they need to be put under this freaking jail, and they need to have their pee-pee cut off so they can never, ever, ever do that again. The little nasty asses. I'm sorry, but that's disgusting. Like, nobody's music, nobody's entertainment, nobody's worship, nobody's religion, nobody's whatever should ever, 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 ever come in the place of a child being abused. And that's any form of abuse. That's mentally, physically, spiritually, sexually. It doesn't matter. If you're abusing a child, you are a scum and you need to be put under the jail. I don't care. And the fact that all of these people have been able to slide by all these years really baffles me in a hard way. And I'm just like, I'm so done with it. And I'm so proud of people like Dream Hampton. I'm so proud of Black Girl Magic and the mute R.Kelly. You know, I'm so glad all of these are coming out. I'm so glad, you know, while, you know, white feminists are out here dealing with the Me Too movement and taking down all these rich white celebrities. We are out here trying to take down all of these rich black celebrities who have been able to thrive throughout this community on and prey on our vulnerable children. Vulnerable children. It's already hard enough to be out here in these streets with everything going on in the world, right? And so when you come promising things that are going to help them make their life better and you abuse them, you are the scum of the earth and you deserve no loyalty or sympathy. I don't understand why people are sympathizing with any of these people. But you are the problem as well. And you're the reason why little Billy, little Jamal, little Katie, little Shantae can't come to you and say, this person did this to me, because you're not going to listen to them, because you're defending people who do this all the time. Corey Feldman tried to come out and tell us, and y'all don't listen. Y'all don't listen. Corey Haim passed away, still having his abuser out here in Hollywood, still doing things. Thank gosh Nickelodeon got it through their head enough to say enough is enough. Bye, Dan Schneider. I'm not saying he did anything, but he's a weirdo anyways, so goodbye. You know? It's just like so prevalent in every aspect of your life, and you need to protect yourself. And we need to be out here teaching little kids, especially young black kids, how to protect themselves, because it's a scary world out there. And you know, I'm very fortunate that I have parents who really care about me enough to teach me and make me watch certain things that I didn't want to watch at 12 years old. You know, I didn't want to watch the Oprah specials about pedophilia and sexual molestation and how to spot pedophiles. You know, I didn't want to watch those things. But my mom insisted that I do because I was 12 years old, and she wasn't always going to be there for me. Honestly, she wasn't. And I'm very, very glad that my mom made me watch those things. Scary as they are, and to this day I still have nightmares, I am very glad she made me watch those things. And you guys need to watch those things with your children and then have very frank conversations about all of these things, because you're never too young to have these conversations. You can have them in a lighter kind of way about just inappropriate touch, but you need to have these conversations with your young kids before they go out into this world, before they're even out in elementary school, because they're preying on them at 5, 4, 3. I hate saying it. I hate talking about that, but they are. They're out here. And also, you know, just laws need to be changed with a lot of different things around consent. Laws need to be changed around the legal age in certain states. Laws need to be changed about how kids, our teenagers, are tried in court over things. just a lot of things in societies need to be changed. And that's not just this country, that's all over the world, because they're doing it in India, Africa, Asia, Europe, freaking Latin America, all over this whole entire world. They are doing some form of sex trafficking, human trafficking, all of that. And it starts with little children, child brides. I even heard a story somewhere on the news, somewhere I read or something, about there being, I think it was in Africa, I don't remember where in Africa or anything, but just there was this place in Africa where they thought that if they had sex with young children, that they would not catch HIV and AIDS. Like, people are really out here defending the fact that having sex with little kids is cool, and I'm not cool with it. And as a Michael Jackson stan, if something came out tomorrow, he would be donezo. He would be donezo. He would be absolutely donezo. I would never listen to another Michael Jackson song. I would never support him. And I know, he's dead. It doesn't matter now. But it always matters to the person who it was done to. I don't care. If R.Kelly was killed tomorrow or committed suicide, little dumbass, if he committed suicide tomorrow, it wouldn't matter. These things still are important, and there are still people out there who helped him, so they could still be prosecuted. So it's just so much. It's a lot, but I just wanted to come on here and talk about that because I did make that video about Michael Jackson last year, and I just wanted to clear things up that, you know, I am a Michael Jackson stan. I do stand by what I said, but if something came out tomorrow, I honestly would not put it past me to just be like, you're canceled, Michael, sorry. And it would be very hard for me, and it would be a lot for me to grapple, but I would do it. I would not be like these people who are out here still listening to R. Kelly, still going to his concerts, still going to club appearances, still doing whatever. You know, that's just not going to happen, because I value the lives of little children more than I would ever value the lives of these predators. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Talk about this because it's just been a lot. And if you want to get my full opinions on like a lot of things going on in the past week with the whole Surviving R.Kelly, Drake, he's very questionable with the whole Millie Bobby Brown stuff, and other things that have come up recently. This Michael Jackson thing, which I don't talk about in the things, I just learned about this today, but honestly, you know, and just a lot of other things, resources and all types of things. Go to my blog, iceturtlegirl.blog, and you will find a blog post entitled Protect Our Children and Women. And basically you can go read that. I talk about a lot of these things in there, and I also give you resources to episodes of TV shows like The Fosters and Degrassi, episodes of sitcom-y type TV shows like Smart Guy, like Sister, like Different Strokes, which had great episodes about it. They're very terrifying, but if you want to be real, you got to be real. And just other resources to have a very safe but very important conversation with your children before these things happen to them. Because I don't want to see this happening all the time. This is a really sad thing to say, that these things are happening on this magnitude, but they are. And it's really, really sad. So please, take the time to help protect your children, because they're out here, you don't know who they are. They could be in your family, they could be your neighbor, they could just be a random person walking down the street. But honestly, you need to protect your children. Okay? Alright. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I told myself that this was going to be the last of it, but then some things came up and I just wanted to talk about it. So, yeah. And just remember to please protect your children, because I don't like seeing this out here in the world. It's just disgusting. It's just really, honestly, so disgusting. So, to all of my young black girls, boys, and to black women, I send you so much light and love during this time, because I know a lot of you are having a lot of PTSD. I know a lot of you are still dealing with a lot of things in your own lives going on with this. And I'm just sending all of you so much tremendous love. And all people who are going through this at all, I'm sending all of you so much tremendous love and support. And just know that you are important, you are divine, and you are a person of the light. And it doesn't matter what this person is doing to you. You are not a bad person. That person is. And I just hope that if you haven't gone to authorities, your parents, whoever will listen, and told them the things that are going on with you, I hope that you have the courage and the strength to go out and tell, and that you really, really, really value your life. I love all of you. Peace and blessings.